Look, I'll be honest with you. Parisher's intermediate terrain is a bit of a mixed bag. As Australia's largest ski resort, you'd expect more substantial intermediate options. But the reality is that most of the mountain caters to beginners, with two main sections offering genuine intermediate challenges, Mount Parisher and the Freedom Chair area. If you're a confident intermediate rider, you might find yourself lapping the same trails repeatedly, though there's certainly enough terrain to keep you busy for a few days. Despite this limitation, Parisher remains a fantastic resort with plenty to explore across its massive footprint. If you've ridden any of these trails at Parisher, let me know in the comments how they compare to intermediate terrain at other Australian resorts. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more Australian ski content. Let's dive into the 5 intermediate runs that make the most of what's available. Before we jump into the list, here is a quick message about a new and free feature available on our website. I need to tell you about something we've just launched that honestly should have existed years ago. How many times have you arrived at a resort and realized you've forgotten your goggles, or your phone charger, or that one crucial layer that would have made the difference between a good day and a great day on the mountain? Yeah, me too. Every bloody trip. So we've built something at SnowStash to fix this, and a bunch of other planning headaches that come with ski trips. You can now sign up for a free SnowStash account, and here's what that gets you. First, a proper packing checklist that you can customize and save. No more standing in a rental shop at 8 a.m, wondering if your boots are back in the accommodation or actually in the car. Second, trip planning tools. Create your itineraries. Save your accommodation details. Easily access resort webcams and our resort snow reports, all in one place instead of scattered across your phone's notes app and random bits of paper. Third, our weekly newsletter, which keeps you up to date on the latest snow news all year round. Plus, you can favorite the resorts you've loved or build a wish list of places you want to visit. Because, let's face it, half the fun of skiing is planning the next trip while you're still on the current one. Look, it's free, it takes about 30 seconds to sign up, and we're constantly adding features based on what actual skiers and riders tell us they need. The link's in the description, or just head to snowstash.com and click the sign up button. We're hoping this becomes your go-to partner for the entire ski season. Right, back to the video. Thanks for watching. Ciao. Coming in at number 5 is the combination run that takes you straight down under the Parisher Quad lift before giving you options at the bottom. The beauty of this trail is the choice it offers. You can connect to beginner terrain and head straight or right, but if you hang left, you'll find yourself on Wineglass, a proper intermediate descent. The top section lets you build some speed before cruising over a flatter middle section. And here's a spring skiing tip. Keep your momentum up because this area can get sticky when the snow softens. Once you drop left into the trees, it becomes genuinely enjoyable threading through the Australian snow gums, though the terrain does flatten out as you connect to the pretty valley section. It's not the most challenging intermediate run, but it offers variety and those iconic snow gum experiences that make Australian skiing unique. Number 4 takes us to Guthega and the Mother-in-Law Trail, accessed from the top of the Freedom Chair. You'll start down Blue Cow Way before taking a sharp U-turn that leads to this double blue square run. The trail map grading suggests it's more challenging because it starts mellow and builds steepness, but honestly, it's not particularly demanding. What Mother-in-Law lacks in technical challenge, it makes up for in location. Being tucked away in the back section of the resort means you get spectacular views of the surrounding mountain ranges. The run is wide and enjoyable when groomed, perfect for taking in the scenery, though don't get too distracted since this is still intermediate terrain. At the bottom, you'll reconnect with Guthega Way, a long cruising beginner trail that delivers you back to the Freedom Chair for another lap. Now we're getting to the intermediate trails at Parisher that offer some genuine, sustained pitch. Wylie sits on the Mount Parisher section and runs parallel to the air T-bar, requiring a bit of navigation from the top of the lifts. You'll need to hang right to reach this wide open expanse. The top section delivers solid intermediate terrain, before the lower portion introduces trees where you can choose your own adventure. You might straight line it back to the T-bar or spend time carving through the snow gums. If you want to extend the run, you can catch the International T-bar or continue down to the bottom and ride the new Mount Parisher Express 6-seater lift that opened this season. It's one of the few runs at Parisher where intermediate skiers can really stretch their legs. I might be cheating slightly by including the wall since it's technically marked as advanced, but it's so short and manageable that I consider it perfectly suitable for strong intermediates. Located at the top of the Summit Quad Chair in the Blue Cow section, the wall provides a brief steeper descent before connecting to See Forever, a proper intermediate trail. This somewhat cat track-like connection winds you around before offering a left turn into wide open terrain that eventually brings you back to either the Summit Quad or Terminal Quad Chair. It's the kind of run that gives intermediate skiers a taste of advanced terrain without the commitment, and the views from up there are genuinely impressive. Taking the top spot is Vista, and the name says it all. This trail offers some of the best views at Parisher on the Front Valley side. Located on Mount Parisher, Vista starts nice and easy before winding around rock formations into steeper sections where the Olympic T-bar comes into view. The second portion opens into a wide bowl where you can really lay down proper turns or simply cruise and soak in the scenery before connecting into the Happy Valley beginner area. Vista represents everything good about Parisher's intermediate terrain. Varied pitch, spectacular Australian alpine views, and enough challenge to keep things interesting without being intimidating. It's the kind of run that reminds you why Australian skiing has its own unique character. There you have it. Parisher's top 5 intermediate runs. While the resort might not have the extensive intermediate terrain of some international destinations, these trails showcase what makes Australian skiing special. Unique snow gum forests, spectacular alpine views, and that distinctly Australian mountain experience. The reality is that confident intermediate skiers will probably exhaust these options fairly quickly, but for progression and variety, they offer enough challenge to keep you engaged. If you're planning a trip to Parisher as an intermediate skier, manage your expectations, but definitely seek out these runs, particularly Vista and Wylie's, for the best combination of terrain and scenery. Thanks for watching. Ciao.